Okay, so I haven't made a video in a while. It's probably been like a month and a half. But I have an update. Like everything that I've put on these videos so far has been traumatizing. Like there's so much more to say. There's so much more to go on with. But I never expected it to come to this. So my mom, like you have to know this, like for 14 years of my life, 13, 14, I was up her ass every day. I knew everything she did. I knew what she did. I grew up around it, so I knew like her faults and how she would say things to me, like do as I say, not as I do, because she knew that she didn't hide it from me. She knew that I knew she had a problem. Uh, I never hated her for it. I felt bad for her because I seen what she had went through, what she had told me with her so-called dad, and then to see him throw her on a bed and try doing stuff to her one day, like I knew it was real. So anyone who has been raped by a family member, like that's traumatizing. I was afraid to tell her when it happened to me because I knew that she'd kill the person that did it, like literally. So I held that and hid that from her. But her having these problems caused her to use drugs. You don't just use drugs because you want to. Like anybody who's partying that has a better mind, like to just do stuff and know when to stop, like party for one day and then not party for like 7 or 8. Yeah, that's on light things too. Alcohol, weed, maybe a pill here or there, something stupid like a Vicodin. I'm not condoning this. Like I'm not. I don't agree with stuff like that. But I'm just saying, there's people out there that do it. I've seen people that say they just use crystal meth like once a week. So be it if you do, but I mean, for me, that's not something I can do. I found that out the hard way. If I do a little bit, I'm gonna do a whole lot. But so with my mother, when she met my brother's dad, my two brothers' dad, everything was we were happy until they had their fallout the first time over both of them using drugs. It wasn't just her; it was him too. Because what he would do is they'd use, and then he'd go out and do his job because he had to keep making money. I get that part, but then he leaves her, and what's she supposed to do? My mom's a hustler. She knows how to get hers if she's back on it, so she would go do her thing, and then he'd come home and find shit and snap. That happened 2 times that I witnessed. Whole house trashed. So, anyways, I held that in for years. I remember in like 04, I called the police department, told them what happened, told them what had been said to me. Nothing. I mean, literally, we have no DNA, nothing. 2006 or 7, me and my cousin go over there, and same thing, no DNA. We go to the court, we talk to the coroner, we talk to the detective, like, no, nothing. Still. So now, it gets really messed up. There's a story that happened in between all this, but I had something come up in my life where a close friend of mine died at my house. This was in September of 2021. When he died, they tried to say that I had some involvement with it. So they took my phone, put me in jail. I went to a rehab, which I think at that time might have saved my life because not only did it get me completely cleaned up, but I didn't have to venture into what I might have done dealing with that But the reason why he was in my life will have to come up in the next video. Anyways, while I'm going through that whole process of what they are saying happened to what really happened to what I knew happened, I tell them how they're just messing these cases up and how they're not. I don't want to follow a false narrative, and they're trying to have me do that, and I'll tell you why in the next videos. But I tell them how they messed this case up, and how they messed my mother's case up, and how no one ever listened to me about, my stepdad killing my mother, and I was tired of living with that on my chest and no one doing nothing about it, and how I don't agree with the way that they do things, and how I thought that they were just waiting for me to go away so they never had to deal with it again, because they knew that I knew what happened, but it's not getting taken care of. Why? I don't know, but there was a lot of negligence there. They never listened to me. But this time, with this case, and they know that they're wrong with me, and they've done all this dirty shit to me. I couldn't even mourn him. I went straight to jail. Like, that's how they did me dirty. But they had nothing on me the whole time. I sat there. They had nothing on me except a probation violation for my first supposed dirty urine in 5 months. I never had a dirty urine, but this day they say I'm dirty and take me to jail and hold me for a month before they put me in this rehab on my first technical dirty urine. The reason why I got put on probation will be in the next episode, because this story gets deep. I hate that I picked up smoking again, but I'm so stressed out. Like, I wasn't smoking for like 3 years, but I picked it back up through everything that's been going on. So anyways, I tell them about my mom and how they messed up the case. 2 days later, I go over to the police department to get my mom's file. She tells the lady there, I talked to a detective and told him again what I had been telling them and how I wanted this taken care of. And where's the DNA? I said, if his DNA is on her, then he did it because he wanted her dead. And, well, I said, if his DNA is on her, then he did it. The detective looks at me and says, why can't his DNA be on her? I'm immediately thinking, why would you say that to me? But I said, because he wanted her dead, and he told me he wanted her dead. And then he told me he killed her afterwards. But her file is gone. It's not even at the police department, supposedly. They said someone just recently came and picked it up. A couple weeks after that happens, my brother's father, my stepfather, the one who I've been telling them for years killed her, he killed himself. Like, my brother's got to be devastated to lose their mother the way they did at such a young age, because they both were touched by her. They both were held by her. My one brother was 5, my other was 9 months old. But he kills himself when he finds out what's going on. So you tell me how right I am now. I mean, I hate the fact that that's how it went down. But I've been screaming this for years. And when he tells me about it, he then takes my brothers away and tells them that I'm a bad person. He doesn't want me around them. After he sees my attitude towards him and then knows that I'm telling people what he told me. I'm not allowed around my brothers no more. So my brothers don't want to talk to me. But now both their parents are dead. Mine are too, but I have a different father. Besides the point, though, I worry about them. Because I know at that age I was doing a lot of dumb stuff when I lost, my mom. I wasn't until I lost her. But yeah, that's the update to what's been going on. I mean, I made all them videos. Anything anybody watches behind this was about that. So then they go tell him what I tell them. And people have seen these videos, so maybe he did too. But I think that he finally got to the point where he couldn't handle what he has done no more. And the regret he had and the guilt he felt. He offed himself. I'll get into the details about that in other videos. I know I can't put a lot on YouTube, but there will be videos that I put behind this. Or added with this in depth. I don't know how I can say it, the real grimy stuff that happened. But I hope people start seeing these so I can start talking and checking comments. I'm going to get on TikTok and talk about these videos too. So, yeah, I thought that was pretty crazy. I haven't been on here for a while because I'm still like, wrapping it around my head. But he tells me a couple months after it happens that what if he did it? I snap on him. He takes it back. He takes my brothers away from me. Doesn't let me see my brothers. Now this is 23 years ago. All this stuff happened. And then he stopped me from seeing my brothers in like 03, 04. And that's when I really started telling people, like, what if he did it? Like, why aren't they coming back with anything? And the way he tells me how he did it makes sense. But then I say it, and I make these videos about it, and I tell these detectives how they messed up their case around the same time. They go talk to him, and he's dead now. I don't know, like, there's so much more involved in this, though. I just had to make this video to get this out there. I appreciate anybody who watches these. Have a good day. Thank you.